Hello again. This is our seventh video. We have reached Subjonctif Passé, which we're going to cover in this video. So, um, first of all, I have to tell you there are several forms of Subjonctif Passé, which belong to like really advanced levels of French, maybe C2. So in A1, A2, B1 and B2, you're not going to see these phrases at all. Maybe once or twice in B2. They belong to the literary realm, and they start with the passé simple, and they go to imparfait and plus que parfait. So you have subjonctif imparfait and subjonctif plus que parfait. These are so that you are using the exact correct temporal precedings and temporal orders. But since we know passé simple is not used in the conversations, in the daily conversations of French, so instead of this we use passé composé. It is also the same in subjonctif passé. So we have subjonctif présent, and we have subjonctif passé composé, which in conversation we are going to say passé, subjonctif passé. So subjonctif présent conveys that it has happened in the same time as something else. Subjonctif passé, which is the construction of passé composé, conveys that it has happened before something else in our sentence. It's as simple as that. Let's just look at some examples. So I've taken these examples from the text website, from the Texas University. It is like a very good website. It's worth taking a look at. Very simple explanations and very good. So look, we have two sentences here in the present, and we have two sentences here in the past. Let's see what happens. Je suis surprise que tu écrives ce livre. I'm surprised that you're writing this book. So let's look at some temporal stuff. This is présent. So you're saying I am surprised. Je suis surpris que what color should I use? Tu écrives. That you're writing this book. These are all happening at the same time. Je suis surprise que tu aies lu ce livre. I'm surprised that you have read this book, or you read this book. So what happens here? We are saying that je suis surprise. Okay, let me draw this again for you. How did I change the color? Okay. If this is the présent, you're saying je suis surprise que tu aies lu. It happens in the past. So je suis surprise que tu aies lu ce livre. So j'ai été surprise que tu écrives ce livre. Let's draw one for this one. Okay, this is présent. So j'ai été surprise que tu écrives ce livre. It happens at the same time. I was surprised that you wrote this book. When I saw you writing this book, I was surprised. They're happening at the same time in the past. So since this is present, this is the past. Let's draw one for the last one. J'ai été surprise que tu aies lu ce livre. This is the présent. We have j'ai été J'ai été surprise que tu aies lu ce livre. They're both happening in the past, but this happens before this one. So I was surprised when I found out that you had read that book. So let's recap, huh? These two happened in the present at the same time. This happened in the present, but the subjunctive had happened before that. These both happened in the past, but at the same time. These both happened in the past, but one before the other. So it really depends on what you're saying, and if you have these in your mind, it gets really easy to use them. Let's look at some examples. Alex est content. Alex est content. Alex est content que la France ait gagné. Que la France ait gagné la Coupe du Monde en 98. So, if you want to draw présent, Alex est content. Alex est content que la France ait gagné. It's happened in the past. Mais je doute qu'il soit sorti après la finale parce qu'il avait trop bu. Je doute qu'il soit sorti après la finale parce qu'il avait trop bu. Pause here. Start again from here. Mais je doute qu'il soit sorti après la finale. So, je doute qu'il soit sorti. We know that sorti belongs to the verbs that are transformed into past with être. Okay, so il est sorti, it's past, so it's past subjunctive. So if this is présent, je doute belongs to the présent. Je doute qu'il soit sorti. I doubt that when we were in the match, he had exited because he had drank so much. So if you want to take a final thing, il avait trop bu. This isn't subjunctive, but it's worth mentioning that since it has this structure, it is plus que parfait. So il avait trop bu. So it is before this one. Ma mère n'était pas sûre. Let's go. Ma mère n'était pas sûre qu'Andrea ait aimé le vin. Et aimé le vin qu'elle avait envoyé. This isn't again subjunctive, but it's worth going through, huh? Let's draw. So if this is présent, ma mère n'était pas sûre. It happens in the past. Ma mère n'était pas sûre qu'Andrea ait aimé. It is past subjunctif. Et aimé le vin qu'elle avait envoyé. So did you see? These are all happening in the past with this order. It's really simple. If you can just make it second nature to you. Whatever happens before, just make it in the passé. So it happens before. So let's look at the last one. Mais j'ai peur qu'elle l'ait effectivement trop aimé. So this is a funny sentence, right? I'm afraid that she might have actually liked it too much. So, like prison and the past. J'ai peur qu'elle l'a trop aimé. This must have been in this color. Qu'elle l'ait effectivement trop aimé. Les aimé, subjonctif passé. So, it was as simple as that. So whatever happens before, make it a past. And these are the examples that we have used throughout these videos, like le témoin prétendait que le suspect ait eu une arme. Ait eu, let me use another color. Ait eu, avoir, hein? Prétendait. Prétendait, so it's like you're saying prétendait, it's present. He was claiming, le témoin prétendait, he was claiming that the suspect had a gun. So it happens here before. Okay, so erase these. Let's go for the next one. Certains s'attendaient que l'Union européenne agisse plus rapidement. So some people présents s'attendaient. They were waiting. They were expecting that the Union européenne agisse, that the European Union act faster. Like in the Ukraine situation, people were expecting that the EU would act faster. They're happening both at the same time. They were expecting, and the European would act at the same time in a faster manner. So, elle était mécontente que son mari ait oublié. These two, huh? What's happening? Try to do this in your own mind before I do. Elle était mécontente. Elle était mécontente que son mari ait oublié. So that his husband had forgotten her birthday. Huh? What's the next one? Les Iraniens regrettent que le roi soit sorti de leur pays. Regrettent. In the present, que le roi, that their king, had exited the country. Soit sorti. Sortir is one of the verbs that is transformed in the past with être. Soit sorti is the subjonctif passé. Okay? Let me see. What's the next one? Tous les gens autour du monde s'étonnaient que les Japonais se soient aussi bien conduire au temps de crise. Ce soir, aussi bien conduire. Okay? Se conduire means how to behave, right? Ce soit conduire, we know that the reflexive verbs are made into the past form with être. So we aren't saying se conduisent, se conduisent like the next one, but we are using the subjunctive passé. So s'étonner. All the people around the world, we are talking about something that's happened in the past, like there was a flood, or like those high sea things that hit Japan, or an earthquake. Okay, something happened in the past and people were surprised. So it happened in the past, and ce soit aussi bien conduire. So Japanese people were hit by the earthquake and they behaved very well. Then people became so surprised. So this is what's happening. This is happening before this. Japanese people behaving very well, and then people getting surprised. But as you'll see in the next sentence, we can also have a different structure. Tous les gens autour du monde s'étonnaient que les Japonais se conduisent aussi bien au temps de crise. So, the crisis happened and the Japanese acted very well and people were surprised. So they are both happening at the same time in the past. Il est temps que tu admettes que c'est été en faute. So you're saying that il est temps que it's happening in the present. C'est été, that it was a mistake. So it happens before. So this is basically subjunctive passé. And I believe it's very easy once you actually get to know the notion. It just happens before, so it's not that big of a deal. In the next video, I'm going to talk to you about some advanced subjects, about the subjunctive. They aren't too advanced, they're just phrases that don't have the definite triggers, and they have a bit of a different structure than what we're used to, but they do trigger the subjunctive. And I will see you in that video.